You're broke, I'm broke. We're all broke of Astrites. Beautiful, isn't it? How Kuro can be so generous, yet we can be so broke of Astrite. Free-to-play life do be hard when all the characters are so cool. It's been a long time coming for this guide, but now it's reached the point where I, and many of you, need Astrite more than ever. So, I will be your guy to tell you every free-to-play way to get Astrite in Wuthering Waves. So, without further delay, let's get into it. First things first, simple as it is, a lot of people forget about it, and that's your dailies. These are very important because not only do they help you get XP and higher in Yunlin level and whatnot, it also gives you Astrites. Just like every gacha game, dailies come in clutch. Don't forget about these. Alright, there's a lot of tasks, a lot of them are very simple, and it's very easy to get these done. I urge you, if you forgot about them right now, log on, do these dailies. You're throwing if you don't do these, okay? They come in clutch. Don't forget about them. The next and easy way to get Astrite is, of course, by exploring the world. It's an open world game after all, so exploring will come in handy. I haven't really done much myself because I'm lazy, but you might not be as lazy as me. Maybe you are, who knows? But I assure you, there's a lot that comes with exploration that just adds up, and it gives you so many Astrite. It's actually insane. It's not all about just the chests, the puzzles. You know, there's a little bit more in exploration that you can actually get more Astrite. Firstly, exploring the world, you might come across these things like domains, these permanent domains. There's 2 of them right now. I haven't got this one myself. It's involved with a side quest somewhere. Regardless, this domain can give you 30 Astrite for clearing it first time, and there's a bunch of chests and stuff in these. That stuff will add up. Not to mention, there's also caskets and windchimers that you can go collect around the map. And the reason why those are important is because you got these NPCs that will give you Astrite for turning those in. For caskets, you come to this guy in the Jinzo city. He'll give you Astrite for each level. It's very nice, very awesome. It comes a long way. And for the windchimers, in the new region, there's also a similar person. You turn the windchimers in, and you'll get Astrite for each rank as well. So, exploring, doing all that comes a long way. Especially when you come to Maki and you realize that you get rewards based on your progress. So each location, each region has a progress, and it'll give you these points that will then go into this level. And of course, for each level, you get Astrite. Very valuable. So doing exploring, doing everything you can comes a long way. And to make your life easier, there's a thing called the Wuthering Waves interactive map. Link in description. This will show you everything you need in Wuthering Waves. And another thing that will help you as well is a thing called Loot Mapper. Using this gadget will show you chests around your area. It's a pretty big vicinity on where it shows you, and it's very useful. Obviously, the next best thing are quests. There are so many quests in this game. A majority of them will reward you with Astrites, so very worth it in the long run, especially exploration quests and the story quests. Very valuable. Don't forget about your quests, right? Quests come a long way as well. Here's a method that some of you actually might have forgotten, and that is first time clears. When you beat a world boss, they will have a first time clear reward. You don't have to pick up the loot afterwards. Like, you don't have to use wave plates to get the loot. Just by beating the boss for the first time ever, you will get Astrites. And that goes for every boss around the map. And not only are bosses able to give you first time clears, tacit fields have first time clears. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have one around here that I am missing. Here, I actually have one right here. First clear rewards for this tacit field. I'm missing out 20 Astrites. I don't have to obtain the rewards. I don't have to spend wave plates. I can just clear it, and you get these rewards. Make sure you find the bosses and tacit fields that you haven't cleared yet and get your Astrite. Another thing that you might have not realized is that you can get Astrite by leveling up your cooking level. Each level will give you 50 Astrite. I would go through, try and make as many dishes as possible. You can't do the same one the entire time because they have a max. These I've already maxed out. You can see up here, proficiency 400 out of 400. That won't give me anything towards the chef level. So you have to craft ones that give you proficiency that aren't maxed out. And if you're wondering about, oh, it's hard to get all the resources to make food. You can buy flowers and stuff from the pharmacy store down here. To the left, you can go to this store right here, this Mahe's grocery. You can buy pretty much everything you need. And cooking is not the only one that has this, by the way. Synthesizing also has its own levels. You take a look here, 50 for each level. And the way this works is in this first tab here, the potion making. Each one you make, same thing like cooking, will have proficiency. It doesn't work when you do synthesize through either of these tabs here. It only works in the potion making tab. So go for it. Don't forget about this. This is actually a really neat way to get Astrite. Yeah, there you go. Another method at getting Astrite you may have forgotten are the Resonator skill tutorials. Each character you get will have a tutorial, and each one will give you 10 Astrite among other rewards. Sure, it may not be a lot, but these do add up over time. It's very easy. And not only do you have those tutorials, you also have the basic training tutorials. Simple dodge, outro skill. Be sure to look through here and get those done. Another thing that gives you a lot of Astrite are the milestones. Each phase gives you quite a significant amount of Astrite. 60, 60, 80, 80, 100, 100. Very good stuff. You also got data bank experience, which can also help with Astrite. I'll go over that in a bit. But yeah, do all these tasks. They're not very hard tasks, so be sure to do them as well. Databank is also a huge way at getting Astrite. Each rank will give you another significant amount of Astrite. There's a lot of levels. It can be tedious to grind these out, but it can also be kind of fun. Databank is something that everybody should level up no matter what. It's super useful. You're missing out a lot of benefits from the databank if you don't have it maxed out. Another way to get a bunch of Astrite are achievements. There are a lot of achievements. Sometimes they happen on accident, but if you wanted to actually go achievement hunting, by all means, you're going to get a lot of Astrite. Ideally, go look for those easy achievements that you could get very easy and get them done, and you'll get a little bit of Astrite, which, just like dailies and stuff, will add up over time. Tutorials are another small way to get Astrite. For each tutorial here, it'll give you one single Astrite. So anything that's marked here with a red notification, just go through them, click on them, and it'll give you one Astrite. It's not a lot, but it can come in clutch. Events are another huge way at getting Astrite. Of course, you got login events that Kuro is very generous about and will give you multiple pulls. Just like here, there's a daily login. They're not Astrite, but they are pulls regardless. And then you have things like this, which I assume will be a thing for the future of Wuthering Waves whenever a new region comes out. These are basically exploration events. You do certain things and you get Astrite through them. It's very worth it. So if you're like me and you haven't really done everything in the new snowy region, there's a lot of Astrite here that you could end up getting. Events will come and go and they're really, really worth it. Don't forget about them. They'll go away before you know it. I urge you to log in, check this every day, see if you're missing anything. Another thing that you could get Astrite for is doing the character trials. Every time there is a limited character, there's always a trial that you can do, and of course, you get 20 Astrite from them. If you've been playing the game, you might have noticed these level bundles that pop up in the store section. You can get pulls through certain levels. Level 70, you get 5 Radiant Tides, 75, 5 Radiant Tides, at level 80, 5 Radiant Tides. You get the idea. At certain union levels, you will get pulls. They're not in the form of Astrites, but they might as well be Astrites with a different font. And that actually reminds me that in the events section, you won't see it here, but there is a permanent event called Awakening Journey. It'll have union levels all the way up to union level 45. Of course, 5 and 15 will give you Astrite, but I'm gonna assume a lot of you guys have that done already. It's just 45 that is the big one. It'll give you a 5-star weapon of your choice, and it'll also give you 1,000 Astrites. So be sure to do everything that gives you XP, your daily stuff like that, and you'll eventually get that 1,000 Astrite, and it's very worth it, especially that 5-star weapon. Going back to the store, there are the coral sections. Whenever you pull, you'll accumulate currency like Afterglow Coral and Oscillated Coral. Afterglow comes from 5 stars and 4 stars. Of course, you can buy copies of characters that you already have, which cost a lot. But in my opinion, buying pulls to get newer characters is more important to me. So you can use that Afterglow Coral that you get and buy Radiant Tides that will go to those limited characters that you want. Worth it in my opinion. I'd rather do that. Of course, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that's just my way of going with things. That, or you could buy Forging Tides, which will get you a 5-star weapon. In the Oscillated Coral section, you won't see it here because I bought it out. After each version update, there will be a reset of 7 tides that you can buy. You can buy 7 Radiant Tides, you can buy 7 Lustrous Tides, you can buy 7 Forging Tides. If you're pulling pretty consistently, you'll get enough currency to buy those out each time. Try not to waste them on too many of the materials in here, because then you're not going to have enough to buy those tides. And honestly, you might regret it if that's the case. Moving on to the more endgame activities that you can do, we of course have the Illusive Realm, which offers a shit ton of Astrite. As you can see here with this new edition of it, there is 1,000 Astrite. I don't know if that's accurate, but 1,000 Astrite is insane. So, of course, when we enter, we can challenge, and you have all these difficulties that you can do. Level 90 sadly doesn't offer any Astrite, but 50, 60, 70, 80 offer Astrite as a reward for first time clearing. It's pretty easy to do. You got trial characters, and literally just use those characters. Try and get the Bellborn Echo and get as much of the buffs, the ice buffs and stuff that it requires, and you'll blow through these no problem. Afterwards, if you really wanted to, you can achievement hunt, get all the achievements for this Illusive Realm. You'll get a lot of Astrite through that as well. Another thing that you can do is use the currency that you get from doing Illusive Realm. You won't see it here because I already bought them out, but there is Astrite that you can buy using this currency. So it's pretty important to get these Illusive Realms done. It's very worth it in my opinion. It's not too hard of an activity if you do it right. I have a bunch of guides up on my channel if you want to give those a watch. Another important endgame activity that gives you a shit ton of Astrite is the Tower of Adversity. You got the Stable Zone and Experiment Zone. These are going to be the easier additions of the Tower of Adversity. Doing them is worth it. You got 100 Astrite. You got a lot of Astrite that are within the Stable Zone and Experiment Zone. For the Hazard Zone, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. As you can see here, for a player that's level 50 here, I don't have this beat. But regardless, as long as you do as much as you can do, you can still get a decent amount of Astrite in doing so. This resets quite often. I advise to give it a shot because an Astrite is an Astrite. If you don't do these just because you think you're too weak, you're missing out on a lot. Just do what you can and you'll get rewarded. Hologram boss fights are another important way at getting Astrite. Each difficulty here will give you 20 Astrite. Yes, they are hard, but if you are over leveled and have good enough damage, you can beat the easier difficulties. Don't fret if you can't do like level 80, level 90, or even 100. Just do the easiest ones, do the ones that you can do, and you can get that Astrite that you're missing out on. There's a lot of holograms. There are only going to be more. So do the difficulties you can do. Get your Astrite. Just do what you can. Last but certainly not least, there will be redemption codes all over the place. And one that's a permanent one is in fact Wuthering Gift. This will give you 50 Astrite. Please be aware. Go ahead and search up online for current redemption codes. I'm sure there's sites and stuff out there that will help you out. Once you put them in, you'll come down here to the mail and it should be there. Regarding the mail, there of course is a bunch of free stuff that Kuro is very generous for. Be sure to check your mail and see if you're missing anything and grab everything you can. That's that. Those are all the current ways to get Astrite that I know of. So that being said, if I forgot anything, please comment down below anything that I have forgotten so that anyone who goes to look down there will see it. I hope this video was super helpful. Let us all win our future 50/50s. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This is Kalocom signing off. Okay, I've never done that before and that sounded way better in my head. yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.